This single virgin loser is Ryu, our protagonist. He lost his parents in a car accident and became the only guardian to his younger brother. His whole life was a living hell as he was bullied his entire life for being poor and weak. Not just that, one day his little brother was beaten so badly that he got multiple fractures and became blind for the rest of his life. But life doesn't remain the same always, as in one New Year night, an angel appeared and kidnapped 1.8 billion people from Earth and took them into a dungeon. She gave some special abilities to everyone like super strength, super speed, etc. However, Ryu got such an ability that whenever he dies, time gets reversed to New Year night, and Ryu has to restart everything again. He died countless times, endured so much pain that he wants to quit all of this, but this curse was not letting him go. Now he has finally reached the final floor on his 99th life, but his shitty luck, he needs a team of 5 people to go to the last floor. Ryu got so angry that he killed himself again. Why not? All of his hard work has gone to waste. This was his 100th life. Suddenly, we see that Ryu has returned to New Year's night. His hands were still shaking from all the pain that his body felt over the past 100 lives. He just wants to quit all of this and live his life like a normal person, but he controlled his emotions and started looking for teammates, although he already has some names that he thinks might be good for his team. Then we see some stupid boys were discussing that they are about to become adults, so they don't have to use a fake ID for buying alcohol. They were talking about what they would do after college when suddenly their leader, Young Min, said, "I wanna be a gangster." Everyone got shocked by listening to it. He told them, "I need freedom in my life so that I can do whatever I want with whomever I want." His friend started laughing and said, "Like this, you will soon end up in prison." Let me tell you, these are the boys who are responsible for ruining Ryu's whole life. Suddenly Young Min noticed that Ryu was also standing there. He thought of messing with him, but Ryu glared at him with such cold eyes like he is not scared of Young Min. It looks like he could kill him whenever he wants. Young Min got angry and wanted to teach him a lesson but stopped as he heard a voice. He noticed that an angel has appeared in the sky. She was so beautiful that everyone was stunned by her beauty, noticing her 2 big wings. She smiled and said, "Looks like you haven't seen someone hot like me, but don't think anything useless as I am far from your reach. You are just a puny ant in front of me whom I can crush with a bare finger." She kept on insulting humans, but suddenly a drunken man shouted at her and called her a whore. He said, "I will marry you and treat you as my slave." The angel got angry with her eyes turning red like blood. She lifted her finger, and in a second, blew the head of that man. Everyone was shocked to their soul at how this was possible. The angel started shouting that how dare you weak humans to even raise your voice in front of me. The next time anybody even dares to speak, I will blow his head too. Then she turned back to normal with a happy smiling face and invited them to a game. She explained that on the first date of every month, their souls would be teleported to a dungeon where they have to clear quests to survive. She said that she won't take all of them. Only those people who are between the ages of 15 to 29 will go. Hearing that, an old man started dancing that he survived, but others started beating him. She said that there are 1.8 billion people that will go with her, and I forgot to tell that on each stage only half of you will be able to survive. Suddenly, the scene shifted and Ryu was standing in a white space. He has to design a character for himself. Ryu was bored from all of this as he has already done it many times, so he designed his old character and named himself as Black Scythe. Then we see all of them were standing in a green valley. Everyone designed a very flashy characters resembling different actors and actresses. Ryu explains to us that in this world, people will be so greedy that they will start killing each other for powers and pleasure, so those with attractive looks will gather attention and will become an easy target. After that, the angel started smiling and said, "Looks like all of you are very happy with your character." Then a boy asked her where are the rest of the people. It doesn't look like there are 1.8 billion people present here. The angel shouted at him, "Who do you think you are to ask a question from such a mighty being? Even though, do you seriously believe that I am the only angel? Other humans are being attended by someone else." Then she ordered them to say, "Status window." In their head, everyone does so, and their stats window appeared. All of them got very good physical stats, but only Ryu got very average stats. The angel spoke that in order to survive in this game, you have to improve your stats. Otherwise, you will be killed. Then she gave them a rune stone, and by breaking it, everyone received their unique ability. This ability was given randomly to them, so it can't be changed. Then they received their first quest in which they have to kill 100 zombies, and only 5,143 people would be able to clear it. so they have to be quick, otherwise, they would die. The angel summoned 50,000 zombies in that valley. Now 10,000 humans have to defeat 50,000 zombies. Ryu, being a hero, moved first and started walking towards the zombies. Others tried to stop him that he would die. But Ryu, maintaining his style, kicked a zombie in his face and picked up his dagger. Ryu explains that whenever you are going to deal with a group, you should always make a strong first impression. That's why Ryu is showing his skills to all the players as well as angels, as he wants to grab both of their attention for his future plans. Then we see Ryu was running swiftly, cutting heads of all the goblins. One boy even said that they should also start killing them as these goblins seem weak, but suddenly his misconception was cleared when a goblin stabbed him to death. Everyone was scared to see that and started running to save their lives. At this time, there was only one thought in their minds: survive. When Ryu came here for the first time, he was just like them, weak and scared. But over his many lives, he understood that there is only one rule: either kill them, or be killed by them. Although it was not easy for these people to kill other living beings, some of them adapted to their situation and started killing the goblins. A girl even tried to run from there, but the whole place was protected with a barrier spell. Wherever you see, there were bodies of dead humans and goblins, the ground was covered with blood, and we could hear the sound of dying and crying in pain. Even then, the angel was laughing at these humans' condition. Suddenly, she noticed Ryu, who has already killed 70 zombies in such a short amount of time. Ryu had already fought these zombies thousands of times, so he knows all of their moves and weaknesses. It was like child's play for him. Now even zombies were running away from him, as they thought he was a bigger monster than them. Ryu stopped to check his stats. He was at level 4, and for each level, a player gets 2 stat points. Ryu had 6 stat points, which he used in increasing his agility, as it's the MVP in the first few rounds. Agility not only improves your movement speed, but it also increases your attacking speed as well as dodging speed. Then he decided to end this show off as he had already shown his skills to others. He threw his dagger towards the goblins and crossed them at a very high speed, and in a single slash, killed all of them. He became the first to clear the quest, for which he got a special low-rank unique weapon coupon. Then he received one more message that he is the first to clear the quest in all the zones. For achieving this, he received a mystery box. He used his weapon coupon, but he wasn't happy with the result as he was expecting a scythe of death god. Still, he chose a dagger and stored the mystery box for the future. All others were still fighting for their lives, whereas Ryu was just chilling and looking at his stats. He used his rune which he received at the beginning. He received a title of the last time traveler as he has used this ability 100 times, so it means that he can't use this ability again. But as for the title, he got an ability for which whenever he will die, he can choose a time and a place for respawning again with full health, but it can only be used once. After that, this title will disappear. Ryu got happy as this is a very high level of skill. He explains that resurrection is a priest skill, but it only allows them to resurrect with 30% of health. Then Ryu noticed that Young Min had also survived. Angel was getting bored as so many people had cleared their quest, so she thought of playing one more game. She spawned 50,000 more zombies on the battlefield for the remaining humans. It was already too hard for the remaining survivors, but now it's hell. The bodies of dead people and zombies started vanishing too. Until now only 1023 players were able to clear the quest. Ryu noticed that Young Min is such a piece of shit that he was using others as a shield to save his life. Angel was getting huge satisfaction by looking at their crying faces. Then the scene shifts, and we see that 5,143 people have cleared the quest. Angel snaps her fingers, and all the zombies disappeared from the field. She announced that the remaining humans have to die now. Everyone started shouting that they only have to kill 1 or 2 zombies, but she said that it was already too late, and then all of their bodies started to disappear. These are the results of the quest. Ryu has scored the first position for which he got 1,000 gold coins, which can be used in the shop section, accessible only when he will be at level 10. Ryu was successful in achieving both of his motives as now all players know about his powers, and Angel has also started to take interest in him. Then Angel asks Ryu, "How is it that you got so strong?" But suddenly, she thought of something and stopped in between. Ryu answered, "Well, it's because of my unique ability, and you may already know what it is." Angel smirked cunningly and said that she obviously knows it. But the truth is that Angel can't see players' unique abilities. Then something very shocking happened. Ryu asked Angel for a personal benefit from her, as he thinks that the reward for coming in the first position is too boring and he deserves a better reward. Angel got furious with his statement. How can a lowly being talk to her like that? She lifted her finger in anger to burst his head into pieces, but she realized that she can't, as that ability can only be used once every 24 hours, and she had already used it. Then she thought of a plan. She bent down and replied to Ryu that it's not common to give some other rewards to players, but we can think of it in private. Then she took him into the forest for something deep. While going in, Ryu was maintaining some distance from Angel. She asked him to get close to her. Otherwise, she won't be able to give him anything. Angel was thinking that she was very cunning, as she believes that humans are very greedy. They don't think anything before taking a decision, that's why they die so easily. Suddenly, she turned and asked Ryu about what kind of reward he wants but noticed that Ryu was not there. But suddenly out of nowhere, Ryu jumped on her and punched her in the face. Angel's face bled with golden blood. She was shocked at how a human could even dare to hit her. She turned back to attack Ryu, but he was already gone. Suddenly, he jumped on her again and grabbed her wing with his bare hands and pulled it out. She started screaming in pain, and her golden blood squirted everywhere. Ryu crushed her under his foot and cut off her other wing too. Angel was getting mad with pain, as she was unaccustomed to such hardcore treatment. Ryu smirked and said, "Why don't you laugh now? Earlier, you were getting orgasmic pleasure from looking at humans' dead bodies." He revealed, "I know you were about to kill me with the dagger hidden in your wings." Angel denied it, but Ryu showed her the dagger she was hiding. Ryu stated, "You can't lie to me, Beryl." Angel was shocked that he knew her name. Beryl tried to threaten Ryu, promising to burst his head if he touched her again. But Ryu laughed and said, "Then why don't you try it? If you could, you would have already done it." Angel warned him that if he killed her, other angels would come for revenge. Ryu smirked and said, "Do you seriously believe I'll be scared of your golden threats? Angels are proud of their status. You don't care whether another angel lives or dies. The only thing that matters to you is your own life." Beryl tried to bribe him, offering to tell him everything about the game if he let her go, but Ryu knew more about the game than any other angel. Beryl again lied, saying Ryu couldn't return after killing an angel. This time, Ryu was irritated with her voice, so he took out his big dagger and pierced it into her heart with full force. Finally, the angel was dead. Ryu received a message that he had killed an angel, earning the title of the first angel slayer, Angel Golden Blood, and a rune of slaughter. These rewards were only given once to the first person who killed an angel. The Angel Slayer title would double all his stats when fighting against sacred beings. The rune of slaughter would help him gain a 1% increase in all stats for every kill, but it was only available until he killed 100 times, allowing him to double his stats. The most important thing he wanted was Angel Blood, using which he could convert his class to Death Reaper. They were the natural enemies of angels and other sacred beings, but he could only use it when he reached level 10. Ryu explained that there were 30 regular classes given to players while hunting or fulfilling a special condition, each offering different attributes, but there were some special classes which were stronger than the regular ones. Ryu opened his mystery box. He didn't need the second and third options. So he chose the first option, which would grant him 3 times more EXP in round 2. Then the angel's body started vanishing, indicating the game was about to end. Suddenly, everyone returned to Earth. They noticed that many people were still lying on the ground, since all of them were dead. Youngman's friend, Tazen, was also dead. His friend was crying as he is still a virgin and doesn't want to die this early. Youngmin tried to explain to him that we just have to survive all of this, and then we will get whatever we want. His friend got angry as Youngmin has no meaning in his life. He doesn't have any ambitions, so it's not like he will lose anything if he would die. Suddenly, Youngmin noticed the unusual outfit of a person. He was shocked that he was wearing body armor. Youngmin quickly tried to open his status window. He was shocked at how it is opening in this world too. To confirm, he picked up a stone and tried to crush it. He pressed it so hard that it immediately turned into sand. He realized that he was able to use his abilities in this world too. Then the scene shifts, and we see that all over the internet people were talking about how angels kidnapped humans and took them to another world. On social media, people were thinking this is part of a big prank. Ryu was also seeing all of this. He told us that this is just the beginning as nobody is too strong at this time. But in the future, Players will become so strong that no modern world weapon will be able to stop them, and then this world will turn into hell. But Ryu will not let all of this happen, as this will destroy Earth before he even reaches the final stage. So, he will dominate over other players and control everyone with his strength. Ryu went to his home and noticed his younger brother, Juan, was still sleeping. He is a middle school third-year student. Ryu tells us that once there was a time, his family was very happy until one day when his parents died in a car accident. From that day, everything changed in their life, as Ryu was the only guardian to his younger brother Juan. Ryu noticed that there were many bruises on his brother's body. He switched on the light and woke him up. Juan asked why he is doing it, as it's just 6 in the morning, but Ryu pulled his blanket and ordered him to go outside with him. Outside of their home, Ryu asked Juan to look at his phone. He was shocked to see what was happening. He couldn't believe all of this, so he asked Ryu whether he was kidnapped too. Ryu said, "Don't worry about me." Juan shouted, "Why should I not worry? I know that you are mentally strong, and after our parents' death, you took care of everything. But still, killing 100 zombies is way too hard." Ryu tried to cool him down that in that world, we receive stats like a game, so our physical capabilities don't affect us. Ryu said to him, "Don't ask so many questions, just come with me." Juan denied moving a single foot until Ryu tells him, where were they going? So Ryu told him that they were going to Bang Tengyu's hideout. Juan was shocked to hear his name, as he is the strongest bully of their school. Ryu tells Juan that he knows that Tengyu was bullying him. Juan was shocked to hear this, as he had never told Ryu about it because he didn't want to create more problems for him. Ryu tells us that he also didn't know about it until his first regression. When he cleared the first stage for the first time, he didn't go outside and slept at home to take rest as he was too tired. On that day, Juan went outside for a few hours to meet someone, but then Ryu received a call from the city hospital. He quickly rushed there and found out that Tengyu had beaten his brother so badly that he had multiple fractures and had lost his eyesight forever. Ryu decided that he wouldn't let anyone do this again to his little brother. The scene then shifts, and we see Tengyu at his hideout. He was beating some people as he had asked them to bring 200,000 won, but they were not able to gather this much money. So Tengyu asked his underlings if they knew someone who could give them money. One of them said, "We can call the tall guy, Juan. We will beat him up, and after that, we will take all of his money." Tengyu told them, "He is almost homeless. He won't have any money, but still, we can celebrate New Year by beating him." Suddenly, they noticed that someone had come inside. It was Juan and Ryu. Tengyu asked Juan whether he had brought a puny shit with him. Ryu said, "I am his brother." One of them started mocking Ryu as he was smaller than him, but suddenly, Ryu punched him in the face. Then another boy attacked him, but Ryu dodged him easily and punched him so hard that he flew to a wall. Others attacked him too, but he knocked them all out with a single punch. Tengyu thought that Ryu was using boxing and he was much bigger and heavier than him, so Ryu won't be able to defeat him. Tengyu jumped and tried to punch Ryu, but he swiftly dodged him and moved beside him. Tengyu started attacking like a mad bull, but Ryu was dodging him easily as it was nothing for him. Ryu said, "If you had watched the news, then you wouldn't have dared to fight with me." Then Ryu collected some aura on his fist and punched Tengyu with full force. It broke one of Tengyu's teeth. Tengyu was so frustrated that he started attacking again, but each time, Ryu easily dodged him as if he was fighting a kid. Ryu was constantly attacking Tengyu's face as if he wanted to change his face shape forever. Tengyu begged Ryu to at least let him hit once, but Ryu punched him so hard that Tengyu got knocked on a wall. Ryu tells us that he has regressed 100 times, but still, he is not able to forget the feeling when he saw his brother in the hospital. Tengyu begged Ryu to stop all of this, but Ryu said that you shouldn't have messed with my brother. After saying this, he broke Tengyu's left arm. Everyone was scared to see Tengyu in such a condition. Then Ryu grabbed his right hand and with full force broke it too. Tengyu was crying, saying he would never touch one again, so please leave me. But Ryu said that I don't trust you, and he started breaking his hands again and again. Even Juan was scared to see his brother doing such things. Then the scene shifts, and we see that Ryu and Juan were going back to their home. Juan asked Ryu about how he was able to dodge all of Tengyu's attacks. Has he learned some sort of martial arts in another world? Ryu laughed and explained to him that players can use their abilities in this world too. To prove this, he spawned a dagger in front of him. He explains that an average human has an agility of level 3, whereas a trained athlete has an agility of level 10. but his agility is at level 11, so dodging Tengu was not hard for him. Then they went to a department store for getting something to eat. Ryu went to an ATM machine to take out some money. He took 100,000 yen from his account. Wan was shocked that why is he taking this much money. Then Ryu asked Wan to get whatever expensive food he wants. At first, Wan hesitated as they never ate expensive foods, but then he chose pork belly for him. Ryu said that we should go to a 5-star restaurant for eating something else, but Wan was satisfied with this much only. Even though Ryu has lived this moment so many times, and everything just bored him, but still, he gets happy when he sees his brother smiling. Then Ryu bought lottery tickets with all the remaining money he had. One asked why has he wasted all of his money on lottery tickets, as if they don't win even a single one of them, then they will not even have enough money for eating food. But Ryu calmed him down and marked the same number on all the tickets. One said to Ryu, "Have you gone mad? You should mark different numbers. It will increase the chances of winning." But Ryu replied, "Don't worry brother, as all of these are winning numbers." Then the scene shifts, and we see that the next day, Wan was checking the winning numbers. He was crying, saying that Ryu shouldn't have wasted so much money on the lottery, as he believes that instead of this, they should have bought good quality food. Then, the winning numbers were announced, one after another. Wan was shocked to see that they had won all the lotteries. He started shouting that they had won first place. It felt like a dream to him. Ryu calmed him down and said, "Don't worry brother, from now on everything will start getting better in our life." Ryu tells us that when he won the lottery for the first time, his reaction was also the same as Wan's. But now it feels like all of this is just a recommended process that he has to go through in each regression. Ryu tells us that he has to become rich quickly, as already over 900 million people have died, and very soon the economy will crash, and in the future magical goods will be traded in the markets, for which he will need a lot of money. Then the scene shifts, and we see that Ryu was at the bank. He tells a receptionist that he is here to claim his lottery winnings. The receptionist asked him from where he bought the lottery, and Ryu answered he bought it from QS24 Yonwei branch. The receptionist was shocked to hear this, as he was told that this time there were a total of 115 lottery winners, and 100 of those are from a single branch. He called the president and informed him about Ryu. The president came there and introduced himself. He took Ryu into a VIP office for discussion. There he told everyone that Ryu is the VIP who has won all the lotteries. They offered him drinks and snacks, but Ryu refused all the guest treatment and asked to finish the business quickly. The manager asked him to show his tickets for verification. She was shocked to see that he had marked the same number on all tickets, as if he could see the future. Then Ryu asked her how much money he had won. She answered hesitantly that he had won 22.5 billion yen, and after taxes, he would get 15 billion yen. Then Ryu completed all the paperwork for the transaction. After that, he started looking for a house, and by evening, he opened a trading account, as he knew that by next month Bitcoin's price would increase by 500%. Then the scene shifts, and we see that Young Min was repeatedly punching a wall to test his strength. He had used all of his stat points to increase his strength, as his unique ability doubles his strength points. He was craving to use his ability on a living person. The scene shifts, and we see Young Min knocking at Ryu's house. Even after knocking for a long time, no one answered him. He knew that Ryu was not dead. He was just hiding to escape from Young Min. Young Min wants to test his strength on Ryu. He shouted, "I know you are hiding inside, and if you even make a little noise, I will just break this damn door." Suddenly, an old man shouted at him, "Do you think it's your father's property?" He spoke in anger. "I am the landlord of this place, and both Ryu and his brother have moved to a different location." Young Min asked him about where they have moved, but the old man didn't know about that. Then we see Wan was shocked to see such a huge building. Everything was exciting him, its interior, decoration, and all the additional services they were getting. After a proper security check, they went into their flat. This place was around 330 square meters wide. Ryu tells Wan that he has paid a deposit of 500 million yen, and the monthly rent is about 22 million yen. Wan was not able to handle all these big numbers. He asked Ryu if they should have gone for a cheaper place, but Ryu corrected him saying, "No, we can't." He said we need to spend this much as we need proper security. Then Ryu explains to him that at the first of every month, players will be teleported into a different dimension, and during that time, their real bodies will be in great danger. One asked him why he would be in danger in this world. Ryu tells him that in each round, only a limited number of players can clear, so players will hire private assassins to kill their opponents in the real world. One said, "Brother, I am sorry. You are putting your life at risk, and here I am just enjoying everything like a child." Ryu shouted at him, "Stupid, do you think I won't return from the next round?" Then, one asked him why he bought this place on rent when they have enough money to pay the full amount for this flat. Ryu tells him that he has invested 14 billion yen in Bitcoin. Ryu comforted Wan, saying, "Don't worry, brother, just trust me, I will handle everything." Then the next morning, we see Ryu and Wan were going to give rice cake to their neighbors. After giving rice cake to everyone, they went to the top floor. Ryu tells Wan that this is a penthouse, and these guys use both the flats. One thought that they might be mega rich. Even after ringing the bell multiple times, no one came out, so they were just about to leave. But suddenly the door opens, and they saw actress Seo Aaron standing in front of them. Ryu noticed that she looked just like the angel Burial that he had killed,